Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Gonna make a quick video lesson going over my trades today and just the day in general and any lessons to take away. We'll start off with IVDA. This is one that I just wanted to go over just because it's not your typical multi-day bounce that I look for, but it's still set up the same exact way. And this is something I'm gonna start tracking the multi-day bounce when it's not taking off for over 150%, 200% plus. When it's in the range of 80, 100%, maybe less than that. See how the bounce works out there. And today, with IVDA, looking like any other multi-day bounce. You got the failure continue lower, the high day break that I typically look for, and from there just holding on as long as the trend is intact for the parabolic move for 25, 30%. And this one worked out quite nicely. So just wanted to have that on watch, just on a video lesson for future reference. They definitely can work out. So we'll definitely find something in the spreadsheets later on. So let's just jump into today. Main watch kind of going to today was checking out MDVL for a potential move. We had the breakout play working out here. It was continuing higher, was failing to break down. Solid pre-market action. Failed to break down here right out of the gate and just had a solid burst higher, but just got stuffed in the low threes. There was pre-market resistance there from before when it shows here on my software. Before, what time is that? 7 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, because it'd be 4 o'clock here. So before that time, it doesn't show on here. So maybe some have to adjust in my settings, but for now it just isn't showing it. 334 resistance was, it just stuck it to a T. That was the high day, and from there it was just a fade. Shorts took over. As we can see, you got the strong volume, which led to this whole squeeze here. But once those buyers were gone, there was nothing left. The fuel was gone. Got very choppy from there, and the volume faded, and we got lower highs, and we used the VWAP as resistance. Just a lot more bearish indicators at that point. Here we are. Still a decent opportunity, but it was right out of the gate. Could have possibly gotten something in the 290 area to test the low threes here. But that's just your quick angle. Nothing much besides that. I did have it on watch for a 308 after hours high break. But I was watching other stuff, which we'll get into now. But yeah, this one just didn't totally work out. We'll see what comes of this later on. But for now, it's just an ignore. Just didn't work out today. A little fake out. Today, IMTE was looking at this for a multi-day bounce. Been talking about it a lot recently. Frustrating multi-day bounce set up here, way off the highs, just completely failing to give a solid bounce. And today was just another example of that. But at least today, we got at least a morning spike. It held up a little bit, way stronger than it has the past few days. For over 5 minutes, it's holding up, and the fact that I was able to do that, I took a stab at it. Ended up being a scratch. Oh. Got off with a starter. What was it? Low 480s. Ended up sizing in slowly in these dips and choppiness here, with an average of 486, 500 shares, and was just trying to stay in as long as the trend was intact. But here at the end, a third try for a parabolic move, and then it gets stuffed. So I instantly sold the second and retreated. Got out at 518. A very annoying play, but it turns out to be a good call, as that was, the best sell I was going to get. We got this little midday perk here, but besides that, just weak volume, choppiness. We just wasn't ready for it today. Not enough volume, not enough buying to really trigger shorts to get out. So we'll see how it sets up tomorrow. right now I'm really digging the setup because look at this candle now compared to the past few days. Instead of getting a new low, we're getting a double bottom. We got a decent sized wick compared to the other days, and putting that in conjunction with the body, the wick, or sorry, the body of the candle is very small compared to all these other candles. So momentum to the downside seems to be waning out, and I think soon we should be able to get a decent reversal on this. So doesn't have to bounce, doesn't even have to be a good bounce. Maybe this was it, but gotta stick to the pattern until I give up on it. It's showing me some signs of bottoming here, and it's gonna be a top watch for tomorrow. I don't regret my scratch on it. Solid 160 bucks. Can't complain about it. But yeah, just a disappointing move today. But might be setting up for something better later on. So that is that. And after that, it was a boring day. There really wasn't anything. In the morning, other multi-day bounces I was keeping an eye on. LIXT. That one didn't really work out. Keep that on watch. Hoth as well. For a moment, showed some signs of it may be coming back. Even here late day, but not enough. We'll definitely be eyeing this for a potential multi-day bounce as well. ATER, this is another setup here. This happened late day. Didn't get in, just waiting for that 662 breakout. Not getting it at any cost, just waiting for tomorrow, not getting in after hours. A lot of these plays recently have had a hard time holding up their gains. So, this thing's finishing really good. The high was right below the breakout level and perked right above it after hours. So we'll see what comes of this as long as it keeps holding up. But right now, this is looking like a great top watch for tomorrow as well. Just something to keep an eye on here. Ended up being a nice red to green move, VWAP play. Just not a pattern of mine. That VWAP play, I usually trade it that first green day. And that leads me to my great trade. So all day, boring, nothing. If you follow us on Twitter, I didn't tweet anything all day until CASA. Let's jump into it too. I call this pre-hand 2. Where are we at? Oh, that's the watch list already. So from the morning, CASA was my favorite play that out of all the gappers, and ended up doing what I wanted early on with a open price play. Didn't totally get to where I wanted, but I was thinking of the high sixes, 7-ish area being resistance. So it topping out at 680. What was it? What was the resistance? 685, I believe, is where it topped out here in the morning. Yeah. So it was right according to plan. Worked out beautifully. I didn't trade it. My focus was IMTE, but this was a decent play. And then you get a solid crack, and what happens is you get a failure breakdown. The day low was 565. You get a 2 cent fake out, and it comes right back. And from there, it gets to grind higher. Let's look at the daily chart as well. So nothing spectacular. Wasn't a huge fan of the play considering the history. Not much really going on, but that could also invite solid short squeezes if the play fails to break down, because everyone really is expecting this play to fail. It's not really much of a mover. Any pop is typically a great short, so that's what short sellers are saying, and their expectations get broken. They get a little fake out and it starts grinding back higher. And I was getting in on this little perk here as it was giving a little bump. 626, 500 shares. Dipped for a moment, held up nicely, and from there it just took off. We're just looking for that VWAP reclaim. I knew it was above the open price, holding it nicely. So as long as it was holding the open price play, I was 6-ish, that area. Whole dollar, half dollar, key level, of course, psychologically. So from there, mapped out my play. Sorry, let's not get carried away here. Let's go back. So I got ATER here as a potential play. And then right after that, these are really the only watches you see. 4-hour gap. in what I was tweeting. So there was really not much going on. But once it was time to trade, when something was there to play, something familiar, a pattern I know that I've tracked, that's the time to attack. And that's exactly what happened. Here we go. If CASA reclaims the VWAP and doesn't use it as resistance, this could squeeze shorts back to high a day, even higher possibly. The key is to break VWAP and hold it on strong buying volume. And that is precisely what ended up happening here. We got a burst right through it. Volume really comes back. It was consolidating nicely here, right around it, which is why I took the quick trade, because I figured if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose 100, 150 bucks. I'll give up my early gains on IMTE. That was a scratch already, so I'm not really worried. I was kind of accepting the day being a break-even, garbage kind of day. It was already a scratch, so in my eyes, if I would give up that 160 bucks, not much. And that thing can end up paying off here, as I was risking just about that much, and then ended up taking off. So 626, and I was saying we could get to the high of day, if not a little higher. I knew there was some resistance around 7, as we can see here, where I was eyeing the 680s as resistance, and you got some more resistance here around 7 right above, and of course a whole dollar, half-dollar level. So decided to take it off at 692 when it was getting a little choppy. Got some indecision, got a little crack in it, but came right back and could have made a dollar on the play. But I think I still executed it properly. Took my quick snipe, didn't trade all day. Earlier in the day, I adapted to the play not working out and sold when I saw that it wasn't really continuing. That could have obviously changed if it held up and took off without me. But in that situation, was reading, with IMTE is what I'm talking about. Let me get to that. Just going over how we have a double top already and it's being choppy. If this third leg doesn't really work out, it's already testing my patience. My expectations have kind of been broken. I'll be done with it. So end up dumping that, taking a decent little scratch, which gave me the little edge to take the trade on CASA with a little bit of size, 500 shares, and just being patient the whole day. Nothing was there, didn't force anything, just waiting until a setup that I know, that I made money on, that I've tracked, that is familiar, comes around. That is when you should take yourself out of retirement mindset and come back ready to put money into the market. So that's really kind of the gist of the day, just being patient and waiting for your setup. And that's how I had a perfect day of trading. Earlier in the day, the move didn't work out, and that's okay. Some doesn't work out every single time, but just not letting that get to me, because definitely a couple years ago, earlier in the journey, that would have annoyed me. That pattern didn't work out, especially IMTE with such a huge fade off the highs, expecting that bounce and not getting it. Definitely would have been disappointed. But instead, just stayed calm, enjoyed my quick little scratch, and when I saw this thing come back, it seemed like an irregularity in the price action and what the expectations were of the play. And let's take a look at the 15-minute, because I didn't really take a look at that. We'll see if that tells something else. No, you got solid buying right here after a fake out. You got some solid buying that kind of kept coming in consistently. And then volume got exhausted here at the end. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this video is getting a little long. But really the gist of it, being patient, waiting for your setup, taking your quick snipe. That was really it for today. I ended up timing things out perfectly because of it. And that's that. On to the next. Hope this was useful for anyone out there. If there's any questions or critiques or whatever, drop it below in the comment section. Besides that, like the video, subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and check us out on Twitter. Follow us at Pack-a-Punch Traders for more alerts and our watch list, updated watch list, and just a bunch of information there. And also check us out on tradecaster.com for low cost live streaming. We're there daily. There's a chat box, so could answer your questions live. Whatever you need, we'll be there. So hope everyone has had a great day, great start to the week, and let's rest up and get ready to attack tomorrow.